All right, we doing this morning. Welcome back to another edition of the Morning After Show. We got a lot to cover today. What's up, KQ? How you doing today, man?
Hey, what's going on, my Dallas Cowboy fan? I got the hat on
We
and
got a lot to
everything,
cover today.
but
What's up, KQ? How you doing today, man? Hold on, my bad. I had a little playback. Go ahead.
okay, yeah. So, but everything I'm doing good, man. I kind of woke up a little bit late, but I'm doing fine. And man, we had a good night last night, and we
Mm-hmm.
about to have another good weekend coming up, and we're gonna talk about that later on during the week. All right,
Yes,
so
sir. Yes, sir. We got another. Hopefully, hopefully, man, it'll live up, and we starting to get it going. We starting to get it going in 2022, y'all. So, put your seatbelts on, smash the like button as you come in, and be sure to no. Let me put these up here. Our cash apps right there. Boom.
and keep in
Take
mind,
it.
knockout. Stormy
Uh-huh.
B is not coming on today.
Okay. All right. So
Okay, so
we got a little time.
right.
We got a little time because it's some other stories and stuff other than these fights. There's some other stories and stuff that we can get to. That's pretty big that we can chop it up on, and maybe we go
Okay,
an hour and a half, maybe we go 2 hours. We don't know. We
right.
just gonna be here talking this good boxing. So y'all come through and hang out with us. And as I said again, as
Exactly.
y'all come in, smash the like button. So before we get to going on the fights, I did want to talk about one piece of news, and I find it very strange that they felt the need to do this. So there's a news article out. Mauricio Suleiman felt the need to come out, and he says Gervonta Davis is a clean fighter, and that as part of their clean boxing program, he's a clean fighter. I didn't even know that there was a question that he was a
Dirty
dirty fighter.
fighter, right.
But here's what he had to say. He says the WBC has an agreement with VADA, the Voluntary Anti-Doping Association, and administers the clean boxing program. They coordinate the collection of samples, the chain of custody, and laboratory analysis. We thank all our athletes for their willingness to register with the CBP, above all for being exemplary in their honesty. We also thank VADA for their dedication and hard work. And then he went on to post a list of all the fighters that were clean fighters, and it included like Oscar. This one here crazy. It included Oscar Valdez, Canelo
Yeah,
Alvarez,
right. Okay.
Gervonta Davis, Javier Fortuna, Derek Chisora, and a bunch of other fighters. But what do you think of the headline of hey, just want to let y'all know Gervonta Davis is a clean fighter? What do you think of them coming out with this list? Are you cool with them coming out a list of the fighters that they feel are clean fighters and tested negative? And then furthermore, why they got Oscar Valdez on that list, man? What's up with all this shit, man?
You know what? I don't know. They're trying to get out in front of something because
Mm-hmm.
something might be cooking. I don't know, but they're trying to let everyone knows that look at us. We good. We good people. We believe in the clean boxing act. We trying to
Mm-hmm.
follow every step and everything all the way through. We are the most prestigious governing body in the country, in the
Mm-hmm.
world. But I think they're trying to get out in front of something because time is gonna tell. Now, you
Facts.
don't have to parade nobody name around if they're a clean boxer. Now, only when they test negative, that's when, okay, you need to talk about it. You need to say, hey, look here, you suspended or give them some harsh suspension. Not no light suspension, but as long as they okay and clean, keep it moving. Keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's how I look at it. You know,
Man, the thing with me, KQ, like, okay,
mhm,
to me, it's an article for the casuals, right? Like, if you don't
mhm,
follow boxing heavy and stuff, you'll look at that article and you'll be like, "Oh, the WBC, they testing people, they doing good, they trying to keep boxing clean." But if you really
right.
follow boxing, like to me, it's like a spit in the face, simply off the strength of like, okay, bro, like I just watched you putting Vada all in this article. I just watched you give a big middle finger to Vada when they tested positive for one of your athletes. I just saw
Exactly.
you give a big middle finger to Vada and switch over to water so that Oscar Valdez is still able to compete. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I just watched Oscar Valdez test positive for fentermine, and then you include him on this list with other fighters that have never popped dirty before. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
it's a bad look to me. I don't like that. And then why he got to be the headline? It will
This.
make more sense to be like, yo, Oscar Valdez, just want to let y'all know He tested clean this last 2 times we tested him. Seemed like you be trying to save face for him. And I think
That's
I
what
know
I'm
why.
saying.
Yeah, I think I know why they did it, because Gervonta Davis is the bigger name and
Right.
things like that. So maybe they want to include him to get attention on the article and get people to click to it. But to me, that's just like, don't even, if I'm Gervonta Davis or his team or Floyd Mayweather, bro, don't even include me in that shit. Why y'all gotta be like, oh yeah, want to
Right.
let y'all know he a clean fighter? Shit, was anybody ever questioning whether or not I was dirty? Like,
No,
keep
no.
me out of that shit. You
Yeah,
keep
you
me out of
know,
that shit. I don't want to be in that, bro.
now, let me ask you something now. What was the exact words they said about Oscar Valdez? What was the exact
Nothing. They
quote?
just they do that, right? So they titled the article, right? If you go to World Boxing News, it says Gervonta Davis among boxers' name is clean by World Boxing Council, and then they do the little they say Tank got tested in November and December as part of the clean boxing program. Gervonta Davis got named alongside several big names on the clean list. His opponent Isaac Cruz was also negative, and then it was that quote that I read you, and then they just give you a list of all the fighters that tested negative, and they include Oscar Valdez on their list. My thing is the title of the article. Why I got to be Gervonta Davis in there? Why ain't the title of the article Oscar Valdez? Or like, bro, it's like 1, 2, 3. I can't even count them. It's like a list of 15. Like it's a list of like 30 to 40 fighters on here. Vasily Lomachenko's on this list. Kambosos on this list. Stephen Fulton on this list. Jojo Diaz is on this list of clean fighters. Why pick Gervonta Davis as the one that you
Right.
want to highlight? Is
Highlight.
my point in what I wanted to discuss today.
Wow. That shows you now. Okay, Oscar Valdez might be clean now.
Yeah.
But that's what they're trying to do. Say, okay, well, he's a clean fighter now, so he
Yeah.
okay. But what about in the past? All right. Now, I can see they say, okay, Oscar Valdez, he tested positive on November such and such, but as of today, he's a clean fighter or something like that. But they're not going to do that, of course.
Yeah.
So we no, they're trying to say pretty much face. But
The thing with Valdez too, like, bro, like we wouldn't even be tripping if you had punished him. I think that's the big issue. He didn't get no
right,
punishment. You know what I
and he
mean? Like he
still
just was
fought.
able,
Yeah.
yeah, he just was able to fight, be a champion and shit, and he just go on about his life. He just go on about his life.
See, that's the
And
problem I had with Canelo. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
no, do your thing.
That's the problem I had with Canelo Alvarez. I like him. I like the way he fights. I mean, he's not no really finesse fighter. He's pretty much a come forward puncher, and he does have respectable power. But yeah, he did get caught cheating. He did have steroids and whatever you want to call it in his body. But that makes me wonder how many times that he didn't get caught. How do we know that that all these other fights he wasn't juicing at that time? Just like the lawyer. If a lawyer, one was here in Chicago, he got caught fixing cases. Now they had to go let everybody he represented out
That's
and
how
get
it go. Yeah.
and get a new trial because we don't know.
Facts.
It
Facts.
just he didn't get
Cheating
caught.
on the. It's like back when we was all in school. Like if you got caught cheating on the test, maybe that's the first time you got caught. But I can guarantee you, that's not the first time you cheated on a test.
There you go.
That's
There
not
you
the first
go.
time. You've been
Right.
cheating. You've been writing the answers on your hand and shit, or you get your
Yep.
ball cap. You put the
Yeah.
answers up under your
How you
ball
know
cap.
all
And shit.
that, man?
Hey
I didn't
man,
know that one.
I got a degree in college. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't saying that I was all. I had to do what I had to do to get by, man.
Yes, sir.
I
Yeah,
had to get
yeah,
that piece of paper so somebody give me a job. You know,
what's
when
up?
I was coming out, that's what they would tell you. Everybody, I like that. Nowadays people are thinking outside the box. You got people, if you want to do media or you want to be a sports journalist yourself, you can just come on YouTube and you can do your thing and work hard and you can become successful. But when I was coming up, shit, they told you, hey, if you want to be successful, you got to get a degree. You got to get a degree. You got to go to college, and you got to try to get that piece of paper. So shit, I was in college partying and shit, but I had to go to class, so I missed some class and shit. But we had a test, so hey, man,
See,
Let me
you
get the,
see
let
my
me get the study guide. Let me get the study guide. Let me figure out a way to.
see.
I wonder why my teachers never asked why he don't never wear a hat except on test days. Boy, test day I have a hat. Take that little note card to the little brim of that hat. I be taking I be taking out my hat, rub my head like put that mother back on. A B C D. Boy.
Man,
Making sure we do good on them tests, man.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir. But let's get to it. Let's get to a couple of fights because we gonna KQ, for those of y'all that just came in, he let me know Stormy not gonna go on this morning. So the way we're gonna do the show today, we're gonna do a couple of fights from last night. We're gonna break them down. We're gonna recap them. Then I might throw another news story at KQKC. Then we're gonna do a couple more fights. Then I'm gonna throw another news story at them. So we're gonna be talking some good boxing today, y'all. So y'all be sure to smash that like button as you come in. Let me catch who we got in the building so far, right quick. Shot Town's finest in the building. What's popping? What's your point? Facts. Number one, facts. What's up to you, bro? Salute to you. We got Demetrius Bright in the building. Salute, Demetrius. Phil J 508 in the building. What's popping with you? My brother Crush the Legend is in here. What up, Crush? Albert Dottie in the building. Salute to you. Young World, what's popping with you? What's popping with you? YGB 22 is up in here. My brother DP Rocker is in here. We got Zero Bob. I had a feeling Avery Sparrow would KO that guy. Man, I almost included him on my damn parlay. But I didn't even include that fight on this simply out the strength of it wasn't on TV. I don't like betting on shit I can't watch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Zero Bob,
yeah.
but good job, bro. I'm glad you got that right. But I was leaning towards that too. Ricky E245 was popping with you. Bobo in the building. Tim Muse, he done changed his name to the nickname you gave him. You see that shit?
Skywalker, yes,
Skywalker in
sir.
the building. What's up, Tim? What's up
He
with
crazy hell up
it? We
there.
got Dark Kent 718. Salute to you, Dark Kent. Oh, what's going down? What's going down? Mr. Gumbo in the building with the $5 super chat. My brother, man. I hope you're doing well this morning, Mr. Gumbo. He said, now look at these former cheaters talking about Canelo.
Louisiana's finest. Yes, sir. That Mr.
Hey,
Gumbo.
I heard if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, bro.
Yes, sir.
That's what they say. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Hey, man. Hey, I had to make it through, Mr. Gumbo. Let me make it, bro. Let me make it, man. All right, so let's do it. Let's do a couple of fights right quick. I want to do this. Let me see which one we gonna do first, man. Let's do this because this fight here was it was good. It was good. The fighters weren't in the best shape, but they showed good heart. Let's talk about this that cruiserweight / heavyweight fight we watched last night. That Liumbeer Pinchuk versus Jose Mario Flores. It was one of the first fights of the night. KQ, you were on the call. You did a great job calling the fights last night. That's why I tell y'all, go watch the fight, but turn down the volume and go listen to my OG KQKC. He be working on their ass, man. His calls is way better than what they giving you on them big networks. That's why they tried to snatch him up. He told them, nope, not gonna do it. But Pinchuk versus Mario Flores, what you got on that fight?
Well, that fight, I mean, they wasn't the best talent, if you want to be honest. They don't have the fundamental styles that I thought they would have, but they did have heart. Okay. I forgot his name. I keep getting that name
Pinchuk. Yeah, Pinchuk.
Yeah, Pinchuk. Yeah. But I mean, they was throwing and they were letting their hands go. Now that I will say, all night we did see punching. It wasn't no hesitation. Everybody did throw a couple of feints out there, but still, that fight. I mean, I can't say too much about it, but it was a good start off. It was a good one on punching. They was going, but everybody always get away from the body shots. And now they started off with the body shots. And that's what happened. They start off with the body shots, and the body shots start taking toll. And that's what they start breathing out their mouth and start slowing down. First of all, they was gone whole when they first came out there. But even so, I still think it was a good fight, much as I can remember, because I know that was the first fight out of the 5, 6 what we had. So much as I can remember the first fight, not as much as the other ones. I think it was a good fight, though. I think it's a good fight for I ain't gonna say non-talent, but non-fundamental fighters. So they did, and they did what they had to do, and they worked with what they had to work with. So that's basically all I can say about that one.
I got you. I got you.
Yep.
Salute to I'm your daddy, my brother-in-law in the building. Hey man, we gonna run through y'all today. He a 49ers fan, so
Oh,
we
okay.
ain't family today, bruh. We gonna do y'all bad. Salute to my brother, Mr. Gumbo, back in that super chat says, knockout. You need to change your name because they don't count, cheater. Hey man, why I gotta change my name, man? What they got to do with anything, bro? Man, see,
Mr. Gumbo.
I can't give y'all no good stories. We all make mistakes, man. I was 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, man. I'm not the same person I was back then, Mr. Gumbo. Cut me some slack, man. For me, Pinchuk versus Flores. Flores hadn't been in the ring in 3 years, and he was 36 years old. So I was surprised he was even able to go 8 rounds. Pinchuk, he was more. He's 11 years younger. He stayed behind his jab pretty good, kept landing right hands, and he was the busier fighter. So he clearly won the fight. So I thought it was cool. But like you said, they weren't in the best shape. But at least they didn't make it boring and start holding and
Right.
grappling all the way through the fight. They kept fighting. They kept swinging. It wasn't it wasn't athletic or anything to write home to. But sometimes y'all, you got to fill up a card, and at least you feel if you're gonna fill up a card, at least you fill it up with guys that's gonna throw punches, even if they are lower level fighters. Can we expect any one of these guys to make big moves in the future? Hell no, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
but
But
knockout.
that ain't
You
the
got.
point.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go
Uh,
ahead. No,
no, I was
What
gonna
you about
say.
to say?
I was gonna say that all the cards that Top Rank put on, all them got busy.
Yeah.
No, like you say, it wasn't no clinching. It wasn't no holding. It wasn't no one just trying to survive. Everybody was in there and they were throwing. Everybody was throwing. Even though they were getting hit, they were getting their head popped back, but they were still coming forward. They still was letting their hands go. And that's why when I was calling the fight, I'm like, man, I can get a leather jacket made. I could get some leather pumps made for Sweet Tea. Wow.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. And that's why I'm saying they both were throwing leather all night long. Every fight we watched, it wasn't boring. It wasn't
No,
boring.
they were all fun.
Yeah.
They were
Yep.
all fun to watch, and that's
Yep.
that's the thing. Like although they may not, they still risking their lives for our entertainment. And I just salute to somebody like the Mario Flores dude who was a late replacement. Like
Yep.
you ain't fought in 3 years, and you go in there and you don't lay down because he took a lot of shots where he could have just been like, you know what, bro, this ain't even my full-time job. I'm done. I'm
Yep.
done. He could have just laid down, but he gave us all 8 rounds, gave us a full fight, and kept throwing punches and coming forward. So, I salute to him for that. We can go to this fight. Jahai Tucker, man. Jahai Tucker versus King Black. This was the one that was stopped.
Oh, wow.
And we were talking like, hey man, I don't know why they stopped that fight, but still, that young man was impressive, man.
Very.
What you got on this fight? And then once you break down the fight, just your quick thoughts on the future of Jahai Tucker, who's only 18 years old, man.
Yes, I was very, very impressed with that 18-year-old fighter. He's tall, he's rangy, he has a reach, and he got great punch placement, and he is not scared to come forward. And what I saw last night, man, he was coming straight in, and he went straight out for the attack. Now, of course, as his career go on, you would get that hey, look. Take your time. Don't go in there recklessly. But he did win in there recklessly because he's young and he's fast. He got the reflexes. So, and therefore, he had some great sparring. Also, what I heard he went in there with some good fighters. So, what he did was he used that reach. And then he pretty much used both of his hands as far as throwing in combination. He didn't throw one at a time. At first, he started off throwing one at a time, but once he got in his groove, he came on inside. Now, he established his distance. He got that right away. He established his distance because he pretty much was measuring with that left hand. Then next thing you know, here come that right hand, that over right hand. And there he was. He started landing, and he started landing great. Now, of course, his opponent, Black, he was in there. And he was ready to go. He was ready to attack, and he ready to throw leather too. Like I say, all he fight wasn't boring. Black was ready to go. He was game too. Every time Chuck would throw something, Black would come right behind him and throw another one. So I mean, both guys was in there, but only thing about it was Black. He pretty much did not sit down on the punches like Tucker did. Tucker was some more highlighted punches. They was more
Mm-hmm.
eye catching punches. So when he hit you, if your head popping back, the judge will see that. So now with that, I can say that he got a great future if he keeps growing, if he keep getting
Mm-hmm.
better. And certain things, I saw a lot of mistakes in there. A lot of mistakes, like I say, going in there straight forward, attacking, and you're going attacking recklessly. You're leaving yourself open, and that's the
Yeah.
thing. That's a big, big mistake. Now you can put a high guard up. You go in there with your hands up, but he went in there and pretty much trying to go to the body, trying to go upstairs, but he wasn't doing it like correctly, and he did it like I said recklessly. So, but
Mm-hmm.
if he improve on that, and he's improved on fighting on the inside better, because we know he can fight on the outside. We've seen that. But we want to see how he fits on the inside. He has that long reach. He has a long reach, no doubt about it. Then can he shorten up them punches once he get in arm to arm with that free arm? Because you can't
Mm-hmm.
hit with a free hand. So when he got
Yeah.
that arm locked and got that free hand, can he fight on the inside? Can he establish enough room to go to the body? Can he push off a little bit and use that arm or shoulder to push off so he can throw that right hand? So little things like that comes with experience. You're not going to learn that in the amateurs. Once you get in the pros, you're going to learn and pick up little tricks like that. Then next thing you will know when punches start coming your way. Then you start collecting, like they said, Floyd, that data. No, you start collecting and seeing what he's bringing to the table, and what he's trying to do is break the body down and go upstairs after that. So he'll learn all those things. So I'm looking forward to seeing him again.
Yes, sir, man. Y'all smash the like button for us as you come in the building. My likes and my views, they ain't matching up right now with the people in here and my like button. So y'all smash my like button. We got our Cash App scrolling down below the screen, and you can also hit that super chat to donate for all the hard work. But for me, and let me salute to my brother Boxing Matchups with Dwayne Freeman.
Yes, sir.
Salute to K Rod in the building.
J
And
Rod.
yes, sir. And with that being said, man, let's go to Jaheed Tucker. For me, listen, I was kind of impressed like KQKC. What I like about him is everything in St. Louis mix. I see you in here. Salute to you, bro. What did it for me? I like how natural he moves in the ring. Like everything seemed very, very natural. He's very instinctive in the ring, and so he reacts well to stuff. He's looking to counter. As you said, he's fluid offensively, but I
Hmm.
think he's only 18. But what I hope he starts to understand, because his father is his trainer, and what I hope they start working on is you're not gonna always be the slickest and the fastest in the ring. Right. So you have to work on your skills and your fundamentals, leaving your hands down, just using head movement instead of, using your guard and things of that nature. That could come back to bite you when you get in there with somebody just as fast as you, or just as quick as you, or just as um skilled as you. So he gonna have to shore up some things. But again, 18 years old, fighting 4 and 6 rounders and stopping guys and knocking guys out like that, that says something. That
Yep.
says something. So Jaheed Tucker really put on and did his thing, and salute to him. But I want to see growth from him, and he got plenty of time to grow. He 18 years old. That was his sixth fight already. So Top Rank is gonna keep him busy. We can say what we want about the lawsuit with Terrence Crawford and how we want Crawford to win and all that. But what we have to admit is that Top Rank does as good of a job as anyone is keeping their young hot prospects busy and keeping
Oh
them
yes.
fighting. And so Jahad Tucker, really looking forward to see what's next from him. He can probably fight. We probably see him 4, 5, maybe even 6 times this year. We could be looking at him fighting every other month or every 2 or 3 months, and that's what he's gonna need for his development. I just hope that they continue to work on him and work on his
Yeah.
skills. And I want to see him not use as much natural talent to get rid of guys. As far as Akeem Black, another reason I'm impressed with Jahad Tucker, Akeem Black gave Joey Spencer, who people think highly of, prospect over there at the PBC, undefeated prospect. He gave Joey Spencer all he could handle in their fight. He lumped Joey Spencer up, and so for Jahad Tucker to do what he did to Akeem Black, that says something to me. That says something to me. It says number one, Jahad Tucker is probably the better prospect, and number two, Joey Spencer probably not as good as a lot of people, hyping him up to be. Because he's older than Jahad Tucker. He like 21, 22 years old, and he had serious difficulty with Akeem Black. He had serious difficulty with him. So salute to Jahad Tucker for getting a common opponent with a fellow prospect and letting them know that, hey man, I do this too, and I'm here I'm gonna be here to stay. So I gotta give him credit for that. Let's do one more fight, and then I want to get to a story. I want to do this Troy Isley fight. Troy Isley versus this Harry Cubano dude. This fight went the distance. But I never seen something go the distance like this where you got your ass whooped from the start of round 1 all the way to round 6. And Troy Isley is the former Olympian. He put it on Harry Cubano, who's a very awkward southpaw fighter. And Troy Isley showed that pedigree, never fighting the southpaw professionally before. That didn't matter. He went in there, he handled his business. So what you got on that fight? Troy Isley versus Harry Cubano.
Well, Troy Isley, he wasn't scared to come in. That's one thing about it. But once again, these guys were throwing. These guys was coming in. These guys were going down to the body. And I saw, you know what? I liked every last one of the fights. Everybody didn't get away from the body shots. Yep. Everybody was trying to go to the body. I don't know what it is. Maybe it was in the water last night. But I know a lot of people don't like to go to the body. But these guys did last night. And what Isley did, he went to the body, and you know what? It went to distance because I thought it was going to end early. But Cabana, he had a chin, and he was pretty much getting pieced up, but he still was in there throwing. I mean, he was in there throwing, and like I say, he went to the body. Then here come Abana. Abana went to the body. Then there go Isley. He went to the body. Then he started going upstairs. He started mixing it up. He started throwing him off balance. And that's what happened. And that's what he pretty much started taking control of the fight. Now, I will say this, though. Cabana, he still came in with the earmuffs on and came straight forward. And he still was shooting with the counter punches. Now, he still was the aggressor. He still was walking him down until them body shots started kicking in. Now, only thing about it is the body shots, you start at round 2, maybe 3. But if you start off at round 1, maybe you can end early because the body shots, it takes about 4 rounds to really take a toll on you. And that's what happens. They wait a little bit too late. But sometimes, if you got a 12-round fight, it's just in time. But sometimes what you try to do when you go in there is try to get out of there early as possible. But only thing I didn't like about Isley is that he was trying to knock him out right away.
He was dropping bombs, man.
I mean, man, was he dropping bombs? Man, and Cabana, he took it. He took it, and he still came forward. Now, would he punch himself out? No, he didn't. No, these guys are still, some of them still young, but still, you got to let the knockout come to you. You cannot sit there and wait on the knockout. You cannot sit there and not wait on the knockout. You cannot sit there and go for the knockout. Because I'm gonna tell you, a hurt man is a dangerous man. A hurt fighter is a dangerous fighter. So and that he gonna have to learn that too. And just boxing is a learning curve. Boxing is discipline, and boxing is learning. Boxing is following damn directions, and a lot of guys don't do that. Now, of course, we have seen a lot of guys. I alluded to this last night. A lot of guys from the Puerto Rican descent. They don't do what their coach say. They slap the shit out of them.
Ain't no way in hell.
I know. And I saw that when I used to watch Tito Trinidad. That's one of my favorite fighters. I used to like him because he's tall and everything. But anyway, he used to get slapped a lot. One would raise his hands up, trying to stretch him and stuff, and the other slapping the shit out of him. And I'm like, man, what the going on? But I guess that's to wake them up, put them back in reality. Because sometimes you can be in a trance. Sometimes you can pretty much be left hand crazy, or right hand crazy, just like Cruz was last night. He was left hand crazy. Now, of course, the first round. I mean, I don't mean to go to the next fight. I'm sorry.
No, you got
But,
it. Keep
you
going.
know, but when you got guys that go out there and just go all for what you know, first round, you can end up looking like Cruz after the first round. See, that's what happens. That's what happens.
Yeah.
He's lucky he didn't get knocked out. Now, if he was fighting
Okay.
someone with some big punches, if he was fighting someone that really, really can knock you out, then he would have been knocked
You've
out.
been in trouble. Yeah, you've
Yes,
been in
sir.
trouble.
Right. Because he came in reckless. So go ahead.
Yeah,
No.
Troy Isley, man, he's very impressive young fighter. Like you don't. That's one thing. Like making it like Cuba to me probably got the best amateur program because they really like come together and put all their money in amateur. But if you tell me who has the more talented amateurs, it's America because our professional fighters turn out to be better than every other country. So for me, the fact that Troy Isley got to the Olympics, that just shows how good he is because of how talented the pool that he was coming from. And it showed last night, like he goes to the body well, he understands distance well. You can see the counter punching ability. His jab is nice. He quit going to the body for whatever reason. He felt like he wanted to get him out of there. And as a young fighter, I think he'll learn from that because you get the knockout by going to the body, man. Because their body don't move. And Harry Cubano, for as much as he was getting tagged, he showed pretty good head movement. And he wasn't always easy to hit. But your torso and your body don't move. So he should have kept going to the body. But overall, it was very impressive. I like that Troy Isley was able to keep up his work rate. So I saw that he got a good gas tank. Looks like he can fight more than 6 rounds. But I do want to see him get more patient. I want to see him keep going to the body more and break a fighter down. And if you get the stoppage, you get the stoppage. But one thing I don't want him to do is I never want him to stop going to the body because I think that could be to keep him because his left hooks and uppercuts to the body and right hooks to the body, all of that stuff is vicious, man. He can really, 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 he can really fight, man. So I'm excited for him now. He's kind of short for a middleweight, so this is probably later on. You know what I mean? Once he really start fighting top level competition, I do worry about his reach, and I worry about his height at middleweight versus some of those taller, bigger middleweights that got good boxing skills too. So that's kind of my worries for him. But overall, man, he put on a great performance. And D-Ray, I saw your question, man. We're gonna get to that fight. That fight's gonna be next. And salute
Let me
to my
ask you.
brother, World Combat in the building. Go ahead though. What's up?
Okay, no, I'm sorry. Now we all know you, me. I always say this too. Cuba has the best amateur program out there. We know that. They fight on the finca, which is farm in Spanish, and they 24/7. They love them like kings over there, the amateur champions. And I think Floyd Mayweather was one of the first ones to beat a Cuban in a long time. Now, let me ask you something, Knockout. They pedigree, what they have learned, the 24/7. Is there anything they can learn when they come to America? Because it's no more defection. It's no more riding in a raft and trying to come over to the United States. All right. Now they can actually fly over and move over here, no problem. Thanks to Barack Obama. So now they can pretty much just come on over and say, okay, you know what? I'm gonna start fighting in America. Now, can they be like a you guys, or are they gonna still keep that old Cuban style fighting? It's hard to break your style, but can
it's
America
hard to
help them out?
They can, and this is the one thing. This is why this is their issue to me. Like if I'm not running a boxing program, y'all, obviously, but they need to come earlier. I think a lot of them they wait too long. Mid-20s, 28 years old. You look at a guy like Frank Sanchez, who's 29 years old now, and he's only like 10, 12 fights into his career.
How
And
old?
so and he's 29. That's what they say. I mean, he really like 42. If you ask me, he's somebody's uncle. But the point I'm making is they and this is why they're so successful, because a lot of times when they go to those amateur tournaments, they'll be 23, 24 years old fighting against 18 to 19-year-olds and shit. Like they be older, and that's why their amateur program is so successful, because they stay there longer and they are taught very well. but that's also what hurts them in the pros is that they stayed amateurs for so long. When they come over here, they still have that amateur pedigree and their amateur style, and for a lot of them, it's hard for them to break that shit because once you like think of any athlete, once you've been an athlete and you've been doing what you're doing, and you like 25, 26 years old, well now, and some of them come over here like 30 years old. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like, how do you change your style? Like they can try to teach you new tricks and they can try to teach you stuff, but what do we always say? Once you get in a fight and somebody start tagging you to the body, somebody start tagging you to the face, you're gonna automatically go back to what you was doing, the past 10, 15 years. You ain't gonna do what you was doing in that 3-month training camp. You're gonna do what you naturally doing, what your body does instinctively. So to me, that's the problem. I think they just stay amateur way too long, bro. They stay amateur entirely too long and they don't have time to change. I think the answer would be once you go to one Olympics, bro, that's enough. You don't need to go to 2, 3, 4 Olympics. Go to one Olympics and then turn pro. You don't need to go to the Olympics at 18, 22, 26, and 30 and then turn pro as a 2-time gold medalist or a 2-time silver medalist because now your style's already done. And now you going in there and you either showing too much lateral movement or you throwing little pity pat punches and dudes is tagging your ass and fighting you professionally and you can't respond to it or react to it. Like just look at Frank Sanchez's last fight. He looked good against F.A. Ajagba. Then he fought a lesser opponent in Christian Hamer, and we all wondering like, bro, why aren't you being more aggressive? Why are you running around the ring and shit? Like he can hurt you. Christian Hamer can't do shit with you, bro. Standing there and mess him up. And he couldn't do it, man. So that's my answer to the question. That's what I think, man.
Yeah, you know what? You're right because they do stay there too long, and I think maybe because they treat them like I say, kings over there as amateurs. They look at amateur like pros over there. Every time they win a gold medal, they love them. They love them.
I'm laughing at this super chat, man. You see what Ricky said? Ricky said Frank Sanchez is the same age as KQKC, 55 years old. Damn, Ricky. Give KQ. Don't you got like one more day? He's still 54, man.
Yeah,
got like one more day. Yeah, he said he like 55. That's crazy, bro. He definitely ain't 29, y'all. I gotta say that. And again, y'all smash that like button for me, man. I need the likes to match the views, and I know it's a few of y'all in here that ain't hit the like button for this great content, man.
Go ahead.
Boy, y'all crazy as hell, man. And then we got our cash apps, both our cash apps below, scrolling across the screen. Y'all hit that super chat too if you find it in your heart to do so. So let's get to a story right quick. I gotta talk about KQKC's favorite fighter, Ryan Garcia. I gotta talk about his favorite fighter, Ryan Garcia, man, and see what he got to say about this. Oscar De La Hoya said he working on a huge fight for Ryan Garcia, man. He said, let me find his quotes, man. Hold on. He said, I'm working on something huge for Ryan Garcia. You just wait, he's gonna take over boxing in 2022. What's the huge fight, man? What's up? What you expected from Ryan Garcia this year, KQ?
Man, we got a lot of announcements to be made. We got Canelo making an announcement tomorrow. Now you're saying Ryan Garcia is going to make an announcement, a big fight. You got Shakir talking about a big fight, announcement. I mean, coming on. Now, first of all, Shakir, we know what that's all about. Okay, Bob Arum was trying to save face and trying to say, hey, look, see, I got a black fighter, a good fight. See, Shakir he ain't complaining, so what Ryan, I don't know what big fight that he has. I don't know what big fight he has, like as far as in that division, because, you're not fighting Devin Haney. We know that. You can't be trusted. We know that. You got to have a clause somewhere in there. You lied about Pitbull Cruz, so we know that ain't going to happen. They did come back with a counter contract, I would say. But the stipulation was that, hey, y'all got to give us some a certain amount of money because this guy ain't trustworthy.
Facts.
This guy, he might show up or he might not. These are the type of things that happens when you pretty much got a fighter that, he's a iffy. Now, first of all, I don't know why Golden Boy is holding on to his ass. He doesn't bring anything to the table. He's not bringing any money in. Sure, he popular on Instagram, and that's the farthest he go. Now, Golden Boy is not in partnership with Instagram, so
Yeah,
I
they ain't
mean,
getting none of that
they
money.
ain't getting none of
Yeah.
that money. So now, who will fight Ryan Garcia? This is the question. Now, Luke Campbell, no, that's out the question. I mean, who actually going to go in there and pretty much embarrass themselves fighting somebody like Ryan Garcia? Because that's an embarrassment. That he is an embarrassment. So now, but you know what? I will say this, and I don't like to tear no fighters down because I respect every fighter steps in the ring. Ryan
Yeah.
Garcia, I think somebody just said it. He needs to. I think Skywalker said that. Listen, Ryan Garcia got to reset his whole career.
Yeah, he said he need to start over.
He need to start over because see, he's young enough to do that. But this is the question: would he be all in? Will he be all in for being a fighter? Can he get off that damn computer or phone and go in the gym and work it out? And that's what Canelo was trying to tell him. Yeah, of course, everybody blew it out of proportion, but Canelo was just trying to say, look, you got 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Which one do you want to do? Now, if you don't want to do this boxer thing, fine, go do what you want to do. But if you're going to do this boxer thing, you better come with it 100%.
Yeah.
You see, one thing about Canelo, he's not lying because you can get hurt in boxing.
Facts.
Because
All
if you're not
facts.
in shape, you can get hurt. You can get hurt real bad, So, and people in shape still get hurt. So, like they always say, the old cliche, you can't play boxing. And this is what he's trying to do. Now, of course, if whoever that he might fight in his division, and I think they are like lower tier fighters in his
Mm-hmm.
division. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think he's gonna fight the top, maybe what, 3, 4. So that's out the question. He called
I
out
got you.
Campbell. I mean, he called out everybody. He
He
always doing that
did.
shit.
Yeah.
So, but no, I want to say, I really would like to see who is
But
gonna
this is
fight.
huge news. Yeah, I want to see
Right.
that. I want to see that shit too. Couple of things. St. Louis mix. I wouldn't put it above Oscar. He a snake. So
Yeah,
he
he
could
might be
have some.
lying. He
He
might be
could
lying.
he could number one he could be lying, but number two, yeah, he could have something in Ryan contract where he get a piece of his Instagram money. That's true.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Oh, okay.
yeah, my brother-in-law, if Canelo doesn't move De La Hoya, look, De La Hoya can try to put anybody he want on Cinco de Mayo. I don't get ain't nobody from Oscar De La Hoya stable gonna outdo Canelo Alvarez. If they could make the announcement first, he could say we got Ryan Garcia versus whoever on Cinco de Mayo weekend, and then Canelo
Right.
can make his announcement a month later, and they're gonna have to move off that day because Canelo just it is what it is.
Yeah.
That's his
Yeah.
day, so it ain't gonna matter, bro. For me, here's a couple of things. Number one, I don't believe don't give me an announcement of an announcement. That I hate when these like the Shakur Stevenson shit, the this shit with Ryan Garcia, the Canelo shit. Of course, we gotta talk about it because we content creators and we gotta let people know what's going on in boxing. But don't give me an announcement of an announcement. Just make the goddamn announcement, bro.
That's
Don't
what
tell
I
me you
said.
don't tell me you
Yeah.
got something big coming. Just say what it is, bro. When it's ready, when it's ready to be announced, that shit be driving me crazy. That's the first
Yeah.
thing. The second
Yeah.
thing is, I heard, I seen somebody saying a tune up for Ryan Garcia or a lower level competition. No, 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 and no. Here's why. I hold all these fighters to what they tell me, bro. That's why when as a huge Errol Spence fan, I told y'all, look, man, he said he ain't want no tune up. He won't fight a champion next. So shit, that means he need to fight Terrence Crawford because at the time Udenis Ugas was unavailable, bro. He was tied up in that tournament. They was able to shake some shit around, and now he fighting Ugas for a belt, staying true to his word, right?
Mm-hmm.
Javante Davis said anybody can get it. I want to fight, I want to fight all of these guys. I hold him to fighting the best possible competition. If you my point is, if you Ryan Garcia and you come out here and you tell me as a boxing fan, look, I'll knock Tank Davis out in 2 rounds. Devin Haney versus JoJo Diaz, I mean, good performance, but that wasn't showing true greatness. You know what I'm saying? I'll do this to JoJo Diaz. I'll do this to Isaac Pitbull Cruz. I'm not trying to watch you fight no tune up because you out here talking this big boy shit. So put your big boy pants on. You want to be mentioned with the best in your division, so you got to fight the best in your division. I ain't trying to hear him come back to nobody. Like, don't come back and be like, yo, our huge announcement is Ryan Garcia versus Yoriokas Gamboa. I'm not trying to hear that shit. I'm not trying to hear that shit at all. To me, he got two options over there at Golden Boy that's in their stable. I'll take a Jorge Linares fight, or I'll take a JoJo Diaz fight. Those are the only two that I'll take. Obviously, you know, he ain't got the fortitude to get in there with Haney or Tank or anybody like that. So I don't think that's realistic. I'm talking about realistic fights in his stable within Golden Boy where fights can be made. JoJo Diaz is a Golden Boy fighter. And Jorge Linares is a Golden Boy fighter. And they both in your division. Get it popping with them. Get it popping with them. And then I'll take you serious. Until then, your news is me talking about you got something to say or your promoter got something to say, then I'm just gonna shit on it. That's what I'm here to do. Until you prove otherwise. I'm here to call you out on your capping and all that line and shit, all that big boy talk. Bro, you done pulled out of 4 fights in 2021. You fought Luke Campbell. You called out Devin Haney after you beat Luke Campbell. Then you like, nah, I ain't ready for that fight. You said you was going to beat the shit out of Gervonta Davis, knock his ass out. Y'all start negotiating. You pulled out of that shit. Talking about you got Manny Pacquiao. That shit was a lot. You made the Javier Fortuna fight, pulled out of that shit, right? You make the damn JoJo Diaz fight, pull out of that fight. Man, I'm not trying to hear nothing you talking about, bro. I'm not trying to hear a single solitary word that you got to say. Show me. Get in the ring and show me. And you got 2 great opponents. JoJo Diaz is a common opponent with Devin Haney. Devin Haney couldn't do shit with him. Why don't you go in there and see if you can beat him worse? Why don't you go in there and see if you can beat him worse, right? That's what you said. Devin Haney didn't show greatness. So go in there and beat JoJo Diaz ass worse than Devin Haney did. That's what I got to say. Like, that's where I'm at with Ryan Garcia. Show me, bro.
Yeah.
Until you show me, I'm not trying to hear shit you talking about, bro.
Yeah, Ryan Garcia, he's not the best of the fighters. I mean, his chin is still straight up in the air. It seems like no one's working with him or something. I don't know. He's not getting better. He still fights tall. You know, he need to be fighting kind of small. And like I said, his chin is there for the taking. He keep his head on the line. He stand right in front of his opponent. I mean, all these things can be taught. Now he's in Fight for Golden Boy, but he pretty much is over there at Eddie Reynoso gym. Now, of course, we know why he over there, because Canelo Alvarez is his mentor. But it seems like no one's working with the dude, you know. And now, how athletic is him? Or maybe they're offering to help him, and he pretty much turning them down.
Hey, listen. Canelo said I have to tell him to come to the gym. You know, you have to work hard. He has talent, but he don't work hard. Like if Canelo is shitting on somebody that Eddie Reynoso is training, that's bad, bro. Ryan Garcia has been proven to be lazy, and I mean, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling all of y'all, the moment he fights any of these fighters that I'm mentioning, I'm telling y'all, man. I don't trust Ryan Garcia to beat these guys, and I'm sure Oscar don't either. That's why they running around here capping and pulling out of fights with fake injuries and all that shit. In my opinion, y'all might not think he faking injuries and all that shit. I believe I don't think nothing was ever wrong with his hand. I believe they looked at JoJo Diaz and he ain't confident enough, and his team ain't confident enough that he can beat JoJo Diaz, bro. Like JoJo Diaz ain't no pushover. That man got 2 losses: Gary Russell Jr. and Devin Haney, bro. He ain't no pushover, and he looking at Ryan like he's soft as tissue paper.
Wow.
Yeah, JoJo Diaz, he gonna walk straight to Ryan Garcia. Yeah, straight to him.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Come on, bro. Like, and Ryan Garcia, he got to show he got dog. But anyway, man, I don't want to talk about him too long. I just wanted to talk about that for a little bit. Let's go to a couple of more fights.
Let's see what Skywalker's saying and Bowler.
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
He said, Bobo, I don't like Ryan anymore. You know I'm Team Canelo, but I can't stand that spoiled kid. I feel so stupid. I bought a hoodie with the king crown on it. I threw that shit in the fireplace. Damn.
Wow. Skywalker. No, you didn't, man.
Damn. Hey, you
Ooh,
should have told me. You could have melted that shit to me. 'Cause it was cold in Texas yesterday. We had the fireplace going last night. Shit, I
man.
threw that shit in there to keep the fire going too. I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that. Maybe you could have kept that shit and put like tape the X over it or some shit, and
No,
then
I was gonna
still
say cover
wore the
it up.
hoodie or something. Damn, that's tough though, man. You know what
Put
I'm saying?
Chicago
That's
Bears on there or something.
nah, Dallas Cowboys. Y'all ain't man, y'all is out there, y'all ain't even playing no more. You know what I'm saying? You can at least support us, man. Shit. We still here, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, I'm nervous. I gotta go take the chicken wings out the freezer and all that shit, man. We getting ready to throw down, man, for this damn
I might
game.
watch that. I might watch that game just because of you, man.
Yeah, man, go ahead and watch it. Then if we lose, don't call my phone. I'm gonna block your ass. If we lose, don't call my phone. I be blocking, man. Hey, we lose. I block everybody. I be calling in to work sick, like, hey man, I ain't gonna be able to make it today, man. I got a headache. You know what I'm saying? I just be needing to just mourn the losses of my Cowboys, man. I take that shit serious. Salute Percival, Mike Rhyme in the building. Salute to you, bro. Y'all smash that like as y'all get on up in here with us, man. We rocking out. Yeah. So let's talk about this fight. This Omar Rosario versus Rayquan Butler fight. This is the fight you were alluding to, where Omar Rosario came in and blew off his whole load in the first round. Then he didn't look the same in the last 5 rounds. He was able to escape with the victory, but he didn't look as impressive in the last 5 rounds as he did in the first round. So talk to us about that fight, OG. Omar Rosario, Rayquan Butler. What was your thoughts on that fight, man?
Well, Rosario, I thought looked fantastic in the first round. I mean, he came right out there. He knew what he wanted to do, and he went and attacked, and that's what he did. He put Butler right on the back foot right away, no doubt about it. Now, of course, he was shooting his shot real early. Then the second round, like I said, he still was at it. He still was dominating the fight. Then, of course, that's a no-no. He shot and threw all his punches and without pretty much picking his shots. In other words, he just was swinging wide. Now, of course, Butler, he was smart enough, he would have went down the middle. But that's the mistake Rosario made. Then as the fight went on and on, he started slowing down and down. And that's a big mistake. When you got to go in deep waters, let's say 10 rounds, 12 rounds, you don't go out there and give him your whole arsenal. Not right away, not in the first round. That was a big mistake. Now, of course, they always say round one is a filling out round. No, it don't have to be. But you still have to pretty much pick your shots. Stop wasting your shots. Because, see, when you swing and you hit air, that takes a lot out of you. A lot of people don't understand that. Now, you better off if you connect, but when you miss, oh, man, that takes a lot out of you. That's why I was alluding about the Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather fight. Now, of course, Manny Pacquiao said his shoulder was hurting. Yeah, his shoulder was hurting. Because he was missing a lot. Of course he was. So that takes a lot out of you. But still, you got Rosario. He still fought a good fight. He came out with the victory because he still was able to throw. And he was able to throw now, not with authority, but then he started picking shots. Then he started getting his second win, and then his second win kicked in. Then there he go again. He's starting up again. He going on the attack. There go Butler on the back foot. So, but basically, what I'm trying to say is that it was a good fight, but I think he jumped out the gate too fast.
Yeah.
And that can be a no-no with a more polished fighter, a more educated fighter, a more fundamental fighter. Okay, he's throwing everything at me, so I'm gonna shell up, and I'm gonna pretty much just take it all, and I'm gonna take it all in, and I might throw a couple back. Then he gonna start slowing down. Then I'm gonna make my move. Now, if I was Butler, his opponent, I would say, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. Okay, go ahead, shoot your shot. Go ahead, trying to get in there. But he had a tight guard. tight defense. Matter of fact, all these guys had tight defenses. Some dropped their hands, but some had the earmuffs on, and they was fighting from the earmuffs. Shooting it straight left, shooting it straight right. So but Rosario, he's pretty much if he took his time, I think he got the goods to pretty much fight a top level fighter.
Yeah,
You
he
know,
got the goods. He a 3-time Puerto Rican national champion. He got a high amateur pedigree. Dundada,
yeah.
I see you in the building. Salute to you.
Mhm.
We gonna get
Mhm.
to that. We gonna get to that, bro. We ain't did that fight yet. We on the last fight of the undercard, and then we
Mhm.
only got 2 fights left. The co-main and the main event. So when we talk Abraham Nova, we gonna get to that question, man, because I heard that
Mhm.
too. So we'll,
Mhm.
we'll get there, man. But smash that like button, Dundada, and everybody else, and then we're gonna get to that. Mr. Mechanical, what's popping with you? I see you in here. My sentiments are the same. Omar Rosario was extremely impressive, and I told people when we did. That's why y'all got to make sure y'all tune in to our breakdown and prediction show on Friday nights. I told y'all his left hook and overhand right are the keys to his fight. And if you go look at that first round and you look at all his big shots, they were left hooks to the body and
Right.
overhand rights because that's what he liked to throw and that's what he's really really good at. I think I'd rather have a critique of, hey, I got to like him and Troy Osley. Like, I'd rather have to tell the fighter, look, man, slow down. Don't be too aggressive. Cause I don't want to have to teach you aggression if I'm a coach. I don't have to teach you to have that dog in you. And so what I do
Right.
appreciate about Omar Rosario is that he got a lot of dog, man. Look, he saw his fighter was hurt and he tried to go after him. But since
Right.
he was unable to finish the job, he didn't look the same in the last 5 rounds, but he was in shape enough to get the job done, still
Right.
land the better shots, the cleaner shots, and get the victory. But I would just tell him what you did in the first round. The reason you started landing those big shots is because you were patient. It's because you didn't rush anything. You didn't smother your work. You stayed back far enough to where you were able to catch him with the big shot. So to me, Omar Rosario put on a good performance. He has very, very good talent down there at that weight class. Where was he fighting at? Damn, I think it was 35 pounds. Might have been 130. But anyway, he can be a
Well,
problem up there. I just want to see him keep moving him. That was only his 6th fight. And so I want to see him have a busy year, as a lot of top ranked prospects do.
yeah.
4 or 5 fights in 2022 and get it popping, man. But overall, nice left hook, as most Puerto Ricans do. He does a good job of feinting with it and hiding it behind his jab, and his overhand right is nice. And I like that Rayquan Butler is a slick, tricky southpaw. So that's gonna be good experience for Omar Rosario down the line, because as you start fighting top level fighters, everybody ain't an orthodox fighter. You're gonna run into some southpaws because that's just
That's
a
right.
very good style, and a lot of some of the top fighters are southpaws. So I'm glad he got that work in the bank in only his 6th fight, and I'm looking
Right.
forward to see what's next for him. But you got anything else on that fight, OG?
No, I wish, like I said, I wish he'd go back to the gym, and I want him really to specifically look at that fight and specifically look at, let's say, round 5 versus round 1,
Yeah.
and you'll see the difference. Now, of course, if I was his coach or trainer, you want to balance that out. You want him pretty much win rounds, of course, but you don't want to pretty much unload everything in your pocket. You want to gradually, systematically break your opponent down.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the ultimate goal is: to hit and don't get hit. That's what it's all about. That's all I
Yeah,
got.
yeah.
Mhm.
Once you realize, like for me, once he realized he could hurt Butler in the first round, then you could automatically just get patient, and you can just spend the rest of your fight, picking your shots and shit, because you know it's only a matter of time. You don't have to rush shit if you know you was already hurting him and catching him and
Right,
really doing damage to him. He was knocking him, damn near off his feet. So, he'll learn from that, man. He a young fighter, like 24 years old, I believe. So he'll learn from that. We got the co-main in the main event. Abraham Nova versus William Incarnation, man. That was a outstanding performance by Abraham Nova. Very, very good performance. He started working his jab. He worked his jab very, very well to start the fight. He got caught with a right hand from Incarnation, and that's
right,
what worries me about Nova. Like Nova, he a real big dude going down to 126, and
right,
sometimes he don't have his legs all together. He can be chinny. You know what I'm saying? And I
right,
thought William Incarnation hurt him a little bit, but he recovered and then he went on to dominate that fight. He never stopped going to the body with his hooks and his right hands, and he really bullied Incarnation. And so he put on a great performance, did Abraham Nova, and he's trying to go all the way up after the top dog. He's
Mm.
trying to go all the way up after the top dog, and we're gonna
Right.
get to that. I want to let KQ break down the fight first though. But for Abraham Nova, man, another good performance, another win in the bank. Seems like Top Rank is really trying to move him into an eventual title shot. And he did have, and I see you, Bobo. He was very creative with his entrance. He had a big ass mascot with him for his entrance and his ring walk. That shit was cool.
Yeah,
Promoting yourself, man,
man.
putting on a great performance, man. That's what's gonna get you noticed. But what did you think of that fight, OG?
Well, that was a great fight. I love that fight. Now this is, this is my first time seeing Nova fight. You
Oh, for
know,
real? Okay.
yeah, this is my first time seeing him fight. And I never saw him fight live. I mean, I seen film on him, but I never seen him fight live. Now, of course, he did a great job. He did a great job, and he let his hands go also in that fight. Now, of course, he did use his lateral movement a little bit, but still in all, he's from he's a Puerto Rican descent, and of
Yeah.
course, he did use that feint, but then he moved in. But I mean, it was outstanding the way he boxed, though. He didn't let up on his counter punching. He still, no matter how far he was, he still was throwing counter punches. Then not only can he fight on the outside, he can fight on the inside. I noticed that.
He was bullying old buddy too.
Yes, sir, he was. And like I say, when you lock that arm up and you got that free hand, then you can bang the body, bam, 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 or you can bam, uppercut. It's short, precise uppercut, bam, 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 and that's what he was doing. Now, I don't know how long he been pro. I forgot, but most of these guys, been pro for about 4 years. Something like
He
that.
got over 20
Yeah.
fights, so it's been a
Oh,
while.
25.
He
Okay.
got over
So
20 fights, yeah.
okay. So if he stay active, he's a featherweight. If he stay active, I think it's big things to come. And that's why I say Gary Russell Jr. will be more active this year. Why?
I
Because
hope so, yeah.
everybody, you think so?
I hope so. I hope so. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe so because everybody wants that belt now. All right. It's time for Gary to give that belt up. That's what they're saying. And now you got to fight Gary to get that belt. So hopefully he'll stay busy. And yes, hopefully Nova will stay busy. Now
Listen,
Nova,
go ahead. No, go ahead. Finish because I was
okay.
gonna ask you a question. Go ahead.
Yeah, but no, I was just saying that Nova, like I say, he was explosive and like he was a smaller fighter in there, but he was landing. Everything he threw, he landed. So I mean, it is what it is. But hey, it's sky's the limit for Nova if he pretty much stay on course. So yep.
Yeah. So Nova after the fight, and I wanted to get your thoughts on this.
Mhm.
Another top ranked fighter, the WBO featherweight champion, Nova said he want Navarrete next. He
Wow.
said he want Navarrete next. Tim Bradley, of course, said he better leave Navarrete alone. But
Yep.
what do you think of that, man? Is that a fight you
Well,
want to see?
yeah, you know what? It is a fight I want to see. It is a fight one I want to see. But this is the thing about it. Neveretti, he fights in the rhythm. Okay. Now, what I mean by the rhythm, like he fights like this. Then he slap you with that right hand. Then he come again, bam with you again. Then a bam with you. Then it's like wop, 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 bam, bam, bam. Now that throws off anybody. You're the herky jerky style, right? Well, he don't have a herky jerky style. He has like a rhythm that he fights in.
Yeah, like he dancing in the ring and shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you don't know where the punches are coming from or when they come. But when they come, they score. And it's been working so far, and it's been working very well. Now, how does Nova pretty much negate that? How would he fight against that? How can he use his defense against that? Now, of course, wearing a high guard is not going to help because, like I say, the punches come from different directions when he do that. The punches come from overhand. Some punches come from the left. You got the hook. You got some go downstairs. I have seen Navarrete always go downstairs. He had feint upstairs and
Always.
go down. So I mean, this guy is a top of the echelon division. Now,
Mm-hmm.
that will be a good matchup because I know Nova will work his butt off, watch film, and pretty much go in there and trying to outpace him. But we are talking about Navarrete, and they are talking about putting it together. So
Listen, so Abraham Nova, I respect that
what's so
you
funny, man? You laughing about?
because man, I respect that I respect that he want a shot at the top. I respect that he want Navarrete, but I hate to say this, and I hope nobody records this or screen records this shit. I gotta agree with Tim Bradley, bro. Like he better leave Navarrete alone. Listen, Abraham Nova, he's strong, right? And Joel Gonzalez was strong, so he had some success against Emmanuel Navarrete. But Joel Gonzalez's face still looked like a damn pumpkin that kept getting hit by a baseball bat. And Abraham Nova, he seemed like he weight drained, man. I hate to say it. If you go watch his last fight, the first fight he was fighting a dude with 7 KOs in Pinchuk. Just go watch the end of that first round. He got hit with a left hook and he was on wobbly legs. Then he got hurt. And Pinchuk is not a big puncher. He got hit by Incarnation in this fight with an overhand right, and his legs got wobbly again. I think he's just too big, man. He too big and he cutting too much weight. And Navarrete, you're not gonna outwork him, bro. You're not gonna outwork him. He throw too many punches and he too awkward. So you're gonna have to hurt Navarrete. And so when I look at this man, I'd be willing to bet Navarrete will hurt Abraham Nova way before Abraham Nova will ever be able to hurt him, bro. Like like if you getting hit by guys that are basically domestic fighters that are put there to be an opponent for you, and you getting hurt by them and hit by them, and they like, nah, bro, nah, hell no. Nah. Like he better leave Navarrete alone. It's gonna be a brutal knockout because he don't have the chin that Joey Gonzalez have. I'm sorry. He don't, and I hope Cono Loco don't call. Cono Loco might be calling my phone right now. He don't call me like, bro, what's up?
Yeah,
What's going on? Like, but nah, bro, I don't think he better leave Navarrete alone. I'm telling you, he better leave. Navarrete he different. He too awkward. He punched too much, and he got a chin on him, and so he'll take Abraham Nova shit just to throw like 4 or 5 of his own. And when he start working Abraham Nova over and hitting him and shit, man, look, I don't think Abraham Nova can handle that pressure. I don't think he can handle that pressure that's coming to his ass, man. But do I want to see the fight? Hell yeah. I ain't telling him not to call him out. Make the fight. Make the fight.
Yeah.
Because that means you'll stop floating on theirs and we get to see Valdez and Shakur. So go ahead and make that fight. Take Navarrete off the board. That's what I got to say about it.
Yes, sir. Yeah, froze for a minute, but it's okay.
Okay, I'm back.
But yeah, make the fight. And the only thing about it is, this is what pisses me off. And this is what's going on in the sport of boxing right now. I mean, listen at the featherweights. And like I said last night, you had Mikey Garcia, you had Jorge Nalares, you had Gary Russell Jr. I mean, now Navarrete. I mean, none of these guys have fought each other. That's mind-boggling to me. These guys are good fighters, and they haven't fought each other not one time. I mean, think about it. I mean, come on, before Mikey started running up down weight classes, chasing the bag, Yeah. I mean, he was a featherweight. He was a featherweight campaigning at that. Gary Russell Jr. was a champion featherweight. What happened? Why Leo Santa Cruz didn't go after him? What happened? Why Jorge?
You want to smoke? Yeah.
I mean, come on. Now, this is what I'm talking about. These fighters got to dare and bet on themselves. Okay, you might take an L, yes, but you got the heart to get in there with a champion. Everybody can say, okay, well, he fought a champion. That man got a good resume. He been in there with everybody. You can say shit like that. That's what I'm talking about. But no, I just can't believe it. I mean, these are good fighters, all in the same division, but all ignoring each other. I
Ain't
don't get
nobody fighting each other. Yeah, they rather just fight voluntaries and mandatories and shit.
exactly.
126. They need to move up off these belts and let somebody else fight for them. D-Ray says knockout agreed with Tim Bradley at 10:07 a.m. Damn. Yeah, I'm finna redeem myself though. Jody TV, what's popping with you? I'm finna redeem myself because we only got one more fight to get to, but we got extra time and shit. So that's why I'm going over stories today, and we want to change
Man,
up the title a little bit, man. We want to change up the show a little bit. So now I'm finna go in on Tim Bradley ass. How about that? Because he said a lot, man. This is what he said. So he was talking to Max Kellerman on Max on Boxing. This is what Tim Bradley says. Well, Max says Errol Spence, Dennis Ugas are on a collision course for March or April. Said Max Kellerman on Max on Boxing. He says Ugas, of course, beat Manny Pacquiao. He's a good boxer, and a lot of people thought beat Sean Porter and didn't get the decision. But Errol Spence is a next level super fighter. How do you see this one? And this is what Tim Bradley said. He said, yeah, he is a next level super type of fighter. I believe that, but I still think he's running from Terrence Crawford, to be honest with you. How do you see this fight? It's a tough fight, but an easier fight than Terrence Crawford. Eudenis Ugas, he's a waiter. He's a counterpuncher. We've seen Errol in the ring against counterpunchers. Danny Garcia was a counterpuncher, and Mikey Garcia was a counterpuncher. We've seen what Spence can do against those types of guys. He can orchestrate his jab from the outside. He can dominate from the outside, and he can come around with the guards of these guys. He can dictate the pace. That's what he's going to do against Ugas, said Bradley. So first of all, do you think Errol Spence is running from Terrence Crawford? And then secondly, hold on, Tim Bradley also says, he also says my only concern is the eye of Errol Spence. So I want you to go over, do you think we should be worried about Errol Spence's eye? Do you think he's running from Terrence Crawford? And those are the main two things I wanted to get to. What do you think of that overall?
no, well, you got a lot of Bud fans. I'm not gonna say haters and nothing like that. And you got a lot of Bud fans that thinks that eye, and I think I went over this last week or something.
Yeah.
That eye will be a Achilles heel to Earl Spence. They believe that he's going to pretty much favor that eye while he's in the ring. They figure that he's pretty much going to be kind of timid to throw without holding that foam on that eye. Now, was it the left or the right eye? I forget which one, but it doesn't matter. Earl Spence is a self-motivator. Earl Spence is not going to do anything that jeopardizes his health. We know that. We understand that. The doctor gave him a clear pass, and that means, okay, he's right back in it. Now, this is 2022. This is not in the Sugar Ray Leonard days, okay? Medicine and modern medicine had came a long ways. That eye was repaired by what? What United Electrical surgery,
Like a
but
laser or some
laser
shit?
surgery, right? Laser surgery.
Yeah.
Now, of course, he could not run because of the vibration, and of course, the air pockets in the airplane. All right, common sense. Now, but as time go on and as week went past, it healed. Now it's like he never had it done. So it's not going to be a big factor. Now, if you think it's going to be a big factor, you guys bring your ass in there. Go in there and see what happens. All right. I guarantee you're going to see the new Earl. You're going to see a different Earl Spence. You're going to see a new and improved Earl Spence. And I'm going to tell you that because we seen that when you fought Danny Garcia. He came off an accident. He didn't have no therapy. His therapy was getting ready for the fight for Danny Garcia. And no tune-up. No need it. Because he believes that, hey, I'm in better shape because you know your body better than anybody. Anybody, you know your body better. And that's what he did. And that's what he did. And he looked good doing it. He had Danny looking for him everywhere. He's standing behind him. Shit like that. So yeah. Like I said, I'm not a big Errol Spence fan, but Terrence Crawford also. Terrence Crawford also. Now, Terrence Crawford got to worry about now who can he find to fight him. Because Bob put it out there, you tainted goods. All right. You better not fuck with him, shit like that. Just like Ryan Garcia. Yeah, we'll do a contract with you, but we got to put a stipulation in there to say, hey, look here, but no, Earl Spence will be fine. I believe he will be fine. Just make the fight and I'm good. Now, what was the other question you asked me?
What so Bradley says he believes Earl Spence. He's still on this narrative. He believes
Uh,
Earl Spence is running from Terrence Crawford. He's
okay.
running from Terrence Crawford. What do you think
Now,
of that?
now Stymie, the second little black little rascal, I call him. Uh, 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 he's delusional. He delusional, and here we go again. You got to find something to discredit Earl Spence. Why? Because he's doing everything correctly. Now, like I say, you know it. I'm not a big Earl Spence fan. I'm not a big
Yeah, I
Terrence
know.
Crawford fan.
I
Y'all
know.
know that, but I call balls and strikes. And right now, Tim Bradley got a down strike because there's no way Earl Spence is running from Terrence Crawford. Why should he run? He got to see him.
Facts. They gotta see
You
each other,
guys
man.
cannot win or lose. If you want to be undisputed, you got to go see Terrence Crawford.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it doesn't matter. You got to go see him. So ain't no one running. It's just the priorities that's set forth is that, hey, look, this guy's right here. His lock is right next to mine. Put it that way. All right. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna fight him first. All right. We're gonna go ahead and do this. And now, Terrence, you the last one. That's all. That's all. And now, on top of that, he don't even have to give Bob 35% no more. Or
Nothing.
30%, whatever. That's
Whatever
all
he paying
yours.
him, that's all his money now. Yeah.
That's
Fact.
right. And that's why I told everybody, no, Bud gonna back off that 50-50. Why? Because now he gonna get that extra 30%. He can keep that, and it might work something out on the back end in the pay-per-view. So I believe that fight will happen sometime later this year. So, but now, please, Tim Bradley, stop saying that shit because Earl
Facts.
Spence is not running from anyone. It's called circumstances. That's what it's called. It's called circumstances. And it's not his fault because Terrence Crawford put himself in that circumstance of Bob to talk about him. For Bob to pretty much put a dead end to that fight with Manny Pacquiao and also with Earl Spence Jr. Yeah, but one thing about Bob, he do want that fight. Why? Because it's a lucrative fight for him. It can make him some money. But now he's ass out. He's
Yeah.
ass out. So that's why I say, that's what Tim Bradley. I get it. That's your friend, the Bud Crawford, your homie. But still and all, Earl Spence is not running from anyone. Earl Spence is doing what Earl Spence is supposed to do. That's what champions supposed to do. Champions supposed to fight other champions. I would rather see more unification fights. I would rather see undisputed fights. And that's why I say mandatories have to step to the side. And unifications always trump mandatories. So, but that's all I have.
Yes, sir. Let me catch these super chats and I'll give my thoughts on these. So Tim Muse Skywalker in the building with the $5 super chat. He won't say no. He just wanted to show some love. I appreciate that. My wife done woke up. Salute, baby. Appreciate you coming through and rocking out with us. Jody TV in that super chat says the eye is the fastest healing part of the body. Okay, Jody. Jody said, I'm a doctor. I tell you something. Appreciate that, bro. Quee in the building. Salute, Quee. Who else? Oh, Mac of the South. What's up with you, bro? What's popping with you? Make sure I done caught everybody. BN Boxing News and came through. What's up, BN? Salute to you. Mike Rhyme, I believe I already saluted you, but salute to you, Mike Rhyme. Okay. So first of all, the eye. Let me talk about the eye. I feel like we gotta let people do their jobs, right? I feel like there's doctors for a reason, they have checkups for a reason, and they have to pass all these tests before they can go fight. And so if he's able to do all of that, then shit, like he okay. The eye's cool. Like I'm not gonna make an excuse for the eye. So I don't want people to try to use that to act like he gonna be a diminished version of himself. Because I want him to get full credit if he's able to go out there and get victory. That's the first thing. And the second thing you alluded to, like it's 2022, man. This surgery, this injury happened to Sugar Ray Leonard back in the 80s, and he came back and fought. So why won't Spence be able to come back and fight and be the same 40 something years later? You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's gonna be an issue. I'm not worried about that shit. So I disagree with Tim Bradley there. Now this whole notion that that Spence is somehow running from Terrence Crawford, like I don't understand it. And with friends like Tim Bradley, Like
Mhm.
who need enemies, bro? If you Terrence Crawford with friends
Right.
like Tim Bradley and a manager like Bomac, who need enemies? When you got
Right.
friends like these and people like these that don't tell you the truth and that are still out here pushing these bullshit ass narratives for you. Listen, man,
Mhm.
like how in the hell can we watch Terrence Crawford go on a press conference after the Sean Porter fight and say Bob Arum couldn't get me these fights? He's the reason that I didn't get these fights, and so how can he get me fights if he couldn't get them for me while I was with him? How the hell he gonna get them for me while I'm not with him? He says
Mhm.
that. Then he
Right.
said out of his own mouth, he has said, Errol Spence ain't ducking me. It's the business. When the business makes sense, that fight will happen. So then he tells you that Errol Spence isn't ducking him. Then you
Mhm.
look at what's going on right now. He's suing Bob Arum for not getting him fights, bro, and for breaching his contract and not living up to his contract. Yet and still, you have a segment of the population that's trying to blame Errol Spence, bro, and somebody that's supposed to be
Right.
an analyst like Tim Bradley that's trying to blame Errol Spence when everything's right in front of you, bro. It's Bob Arum, bro. It's him. It's his fault. That's why these fights not happening. That's why
Mhm.
Terrence Crawford didn't get promoted properly. Instead of blaming
Mhm.
Bob, because you know Bob pays Tim Bradley to say these things and to be on ESPN and calling these fights. Instead of calling it real and speaking the truth, he worried more about keeping a job. You know what I'm saying? And not biting the hand that's feeding him right now. That's what
Mhm.
that's what he's worried about, bro. He's not
Yep.
worried about telling the truth because the truth is this is a problem between Top Rank and PBC. It's their fault. It ain't on Errol Spence. It ain't on Terrence Crawford. They need to sit down together and they'll make the fight happen. Not Errol Spence ducking him. The man doing what he said he was gonna do. He said he's gonna get all the belts and he gonna come see you. And I expect him and I anticipate him to do just that. So just more bullshit from Tim Bradley, man. He sometimes like see that's why you try to agree with him. He'll say some real shit, and then you have to turn around. And then you hear the very next story is him saying some more bullshit. So I ain't trying to hear none of that shit, man. It is what it
Uh-huh.
is. Spence ain't
Yeah.
ducking that dude, man. Ain't nobody ducking Crawford. He gonna try to come see him. Just make sure,
Right. Mhm.
just make sure Crawford ready. That's all. That's all Crawford need to do is be ready for the fight. Don't fight nobody else. We don't want you
Mhm.
to fight nobody else. Don't fight nobody. You ain't gotta do nothing. Just sit right there, and Spence gonna come see you, bro. He gonna come see you. Don't even worry about it. But let's get to this Joe Smith fight. Let's get to our last little bit of the show. Let's break down this Joe Smith Steve Geffrard fight, and then let's talk about what Joe Smith had to say after that. You know, so break down the Joe Smith and Steve Geffrard fight for me, KQ. What you got on that, man?
Okay. Yes, sir. We got Joe Smith Jr. Man, came out blazing, came out heavy-handed. He is a heavy-handed guy. No doubt about it. He's like a Javante Davis, he tell, hey, excuse me, and he'll hurt your shoulder. That's that type of punch and heavy hands that he has. He came out and he said, okay, look, I got a guy that's a last minute replacement. But keep in mind, that guy with that last minute replacement was 0-2. He got a trainer, then went 18 in a row. So without no losses. So that guy was no slouch. So therefore, Joe Smith came out and unloaded his whole arsenal. He had
Mm-hmm.
all the arsenal in the back seat and in the trunk. He got all them bitches out of there. And what he did was he threw left, right. Then he was working the body. That was a great performance by Joe Smith in that first round. He started banging the body right away. I'm talking about the left, right kidney. And also he went down the middle. He went down upstairs. He went to the chest and the stern. He was pretty much double jabbing. He was pretty much shovel jabbing. He was much counter punching. He was doing everything to get him out of there early. But we had another guy that's across from him that wasn't taking no for an answer. Now, he didn't want to get knocked out, so he kept the tight earmuffs on. I'm talking about these are what we call peekaboo earmuffs, all right, where you just got enough room to see your opponent. Now, of course, he wore it well and he did not get hit too much in the head. But the body shots, here we go again. Those body shots took a toll on him because Joe Smith was ripping those body shots, and he broke him down. I mean, he broke him down simultaneously. No doubt about that. Now, of course, them punches hurt, but as you go on in the fight, the punches are pretty much, how can I say it, making you numb. All right, like you had some goddamn Novocaine. It made you numb, and that's what happened. So therefore, Joe Smith, I mean, he's a problem. He's a problem at that weight class. And you know what I would love to see? I would love to see him and Canelo Alvarez. I would love to see them guys get in there and box. Now, of course, Joe Smith is pretty much tall, know how to use the lateral movement, and but he still was in there with a guy that took him not 1 round, not 2 rounds, but 9 rounds. 9 rounds. And he was pretty much throwing. Yes, he had the earmuffs on, but he was throwing like bam, but he kept one. He didn't want no knockout. He didn't want that head. But if he didn't want it, then he should have kept his ass off the ropes. Now, of course, he was on the ropes because some body shots was pretty much coming, starting to come to fruition. All right, the body shots were starting to hurt. Now you got to give it to Joe Smith. He does punch, and he punched with mean intentions. I'm talking about he will punch to the body, and he would go upstairs. As you saw last night, he was trying to uppercut. The uppercut. Now, some guys can get away with it, and some guys can't. But Joe Smith, he get away with it because he's right up there in his chest, and they are boxing. Now, one thing I have to give it to his opponent is that he fought back. He fought back, and he didn't lie down. So, but that's all I have with Joe Smith, because this guy is going to be a problem. And like I say, I would love to see him and Bivol fight. I love to see him and Benavidez fight. And hell, Canelo, bring your ass back down. All right, go up, go ahead and fight him. Because you're not fighting what's his name, McIndomi and us, the guy with the big head. All right, okay, you're not fighting him. Matter of fact, that guy gonna be fighting.
He fight like in a week or two.
Right.
He fight very soon. Yeah, he got his mandatory defense. He got to fight.
Right. Exactly. So now, like I say, Canelo waiting on a announcement tomorrow for Cinco de Mayo. All right, he's picking someone for Cinco de Mayo to fight. Now, but Joe Smith, great fighter, and I'm not saying this because he's Caucasian, but I never seen a Caucasian fighter fight like that. Now, Triple G, he didn't have that type of power, and this guy does.
Nah, Joe Smith got power. Yeah, he a dog.
Yes, he is. So that's what I'm looking at. That's what I think. Now, with everybody else, I mean, his opponent in there, he knew his time was pretty much winding down. So there you go. That's all I have for that fight for right now.
Yeah, Joe Smith Jr., Steve Geffrard. Listen, Steve Geffrard took the fight on 8 days' notice, so salute to him. But I mean, we're talking about a guy who his last 15 opponents had a combined record where they lost almost 300 fights. So he didn't have nearly the pedigree or the experience to deal with Joe Smith Jr. I do think he had some success against Joe Smith Jr., which gives me cause for pause, because Joe Smith, very good offensively, very great work rate, great power, but he's there to be hit defensively. So, and I don't like that he allowed, y'all might disagree with me, but I think he allowed Steve Geffrard to stay around just a little bit too long. I feel like he could have got him out of there sooner if he turned up the gas on him. So I don't like that he fought down to his competition a little bit, but overall, he had the right hand working, he had the body shots working, he was throwing good uppercuts, and he did his job, and he took care of business, and it's on to the next. And now, Joe Smith Jr. says he wants to fight Artur Beterbiev next. That's the fight that he wants, the IBF WBC light heavyweight champion Artur Beterbiev, who is also promoted by Top Rank. And so that'll be a 3-belt unification fight right there. And I think that's the fight that we need to see. And salute to my brother G5 Gabe. Salute to Ashley's Corner in the building. Salute to Tim Muse back in that super chat. He says, hit that like button and donate to the family, man. Knockout Boxing 86. Always grinding. I appreciate that, man. What do you think? So do you think Artur Beterbiev and Joe Smith Jr., based on what you saw from Joe Smith Jr. last night, you think he got a shot? against Beterbiev?
Oh yes, I think he does. Now, and I'm not talking about a puncher's chance. I think he has a shot because Beterbiev or Benavides, whatever you want to call him, uh, um, he's kind of like a one-dimensional fighter. What you gonna get the uppercut from him? You're gonna get a straight right from him. And then you're gonna have a left jab. Then of course here come the right hand. That's all you're gonna get from him. You're not gonna get a lot of lateral movement. You're not gonna get go down to the body, get in and get out, make him miss and make him miss, and you ain't making him pay. You're not gonna get a lot of that. You're gonna get what you see is what you get. He gonna come forward and pretty much try to take you out. That's what he's trying to do. His ultimate goal when he fights is to get the knockout. That's what he does. Now he's a tough hombre. He's a tough fighter. And one thing about him that he is not going down without a fight. Now, of course, I would love to see him fight. And I love to see him fight maybe a bigger name and a better name. And I can't wait to see it. And that would be a good fight and a good matchup for him.
Listen, it's some big ass fights over at Top Rank that need to get made, man. You got this fight right here. It's a 3-belt unification at 175 pounds. You got Valdez and Shakur Stevenson, a unification down at 130. Here's my thing, man. So I don't think he got a shot. I don't think he got a snowball chance in hell of beating Artur Beterbiev. I don't. I think he's too defensively irresponsible, and I think that highly of Beterbiev. I think his skills are better. I think he punches harder, and I think Beterbiev is just something different about him. He a machine. He a machine. So I would love to see the fight because Joe Smith Jr. got a lot of heart. He got a lot of heart, but I think Beterbiev beat him up bad, man. Because he's not like I think the person that's gonna give Beterbiev trouble is somebody that can counterpunch. They got pretty good feet. Coming right at him, like I know Joe Smith Jr. gonna do, coming right at him being aggressive, bro. That's not. I don't think that's the answer. I don't think that's the answer. I think it's just gonna depend on how tough Joe Smith Jr. is gonna show how long he lasts. If he extremely tough and he durable, he might get stopped late. But if he ain't that durable, he might get stopped in like round 5 or round 6. Some people might disagree with me, but shit, man, I got Beterbiev brutally beating him up very, very badly. Very, very badly. Other than that, KQ, man, that's everything that we had to cover today, man. Give the people your last words and let them know where to find you. And are you gonna go live on your birthday so we can show you some love? That's the big question.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because I have a dentist appointment that Wednesday, and I don't know if I'm gonna be feeling good to do a show, so I'm gonna go ahead straight on through to Wednesday. So
okay, all right, cool, man. And any last words for us?
Yes, sir. Hey, look, I appreciate everybody that came in and showing knockout love. I mean, hey, he's growing and he know his boxing, and look, like I say, his prediction rate is still there intact, and he's still doing a great job. And I'm happy to help or happy to be a part of the morning show. And I thank you all for coming in. I thank you all for subscribing, hitting the like button. And hey, we're gonna do it again next week. We're gonna do it again the week after that. So,
yes,
so with that, I appreciate you. And like I say, Keith Stormy be in your prayers. He's sick. That's why he didn't do the post commentary, and that's why he's not doing his call-in show. So with that, that's all I have. And I thank you all. We had a great night of boxing and a great night.
And this week gonna be fire. This week gonna be fire too. And yeah, Ashley's Corner, we go live Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Central Time. And then I'm live Wednesday night, 7:30, and then Friday nights at 7:30. And for me, my last words, look, man, y'all be sure to watch boxing next week, man. Let's keep the sport growing. As far as today, go Cowboys. We got to go get this W. So that's what I'm on today. And as far as content, man, we drop content daily. So y'all be sure to check out the daily content every single day that I drop videos. And then, as I said, live Wednesday night, live Friday night, and live on Sunday morning. But I appreciate everybody that came through. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night. The rest of y'all day, excuse me. And with that, we out of here, man. We'll talk to y'all next time. Peace out, y'all.
All right. Peace.